So right now we'll be going into the panel discussion for about 20 minutes, and I'd like to invite the panelists. Please kindly turn on your video if you can. Oluwatobi Yusuf, Oluwasegun Adesanya, Ayomide Bamigboye, and Fola Ibiniola. Please, we can start with Oluwatobi Yusuf. Can you just maybe briefly, in 30 seconds or 1 minute, just introduce yourself? Maybe it could just be your current role and what you do currently. Thank you.
All right. So apologies. Confirm you can hear me clearly.
Yes. I can clearly hear you.
So yeah, apologies. My video is not too good. I had to, step out. So I'm actually outside, but I'm still here. So I'm happy to be here. So I'm Oluwatobi Yusuf. I work with Axel Mansard. I lead the process engineering team. So basically, what my job is I review the business and I provide solutions, applications, automations, tech solutions, right, for the business to help, re-engineer and make things better. That is some of what I do. And also, I'm also Microsoft's MVP. It's an award from Microsoft themselves on my technical expertise and community service. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction. Oluwasegun Adesanya, can you please go on?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oluwasegun Adesanya. I'm a cloud infrastructure developer at Ericsson. What do I do? So we are the one in charge of the cloud infrastructure. I don't know if the position is clear to everybody, but it's more like an IT role, a DevOps engineer or a software engineer associate in that sense. So I'm a cloud infrastructure developer, so I mainly develop cloud infrastructure. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Sylvia mentioned something the other time around networking. So please, guys, you can actually, in the chat box, you can drop your maybe LinkedIn profile link. You can drop it as much as possible. And people can also follow. If you see anyone drop their profile link, you can follow them. And also, our speakers, you already know them from the flyers around. You can also reach out to them and connect with them. So this is a way that we can connect and network in during this webinar. So the next person will be Ayowole Bamigboye. Please go on with your introduction. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Please, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Clearly, loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Ayowole Bamigboye. Currently, I work as a fraud analyst with Kuda. What do I do? We're basically in charge of electronic and digital banking fraud investigations, rules, settings, and all of that to curtail the effects of fraud in the banking and the financial sector generally. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know, do we have Mr. Fola Ibiniola on the call? I'm not seeing him. Oh, okay. He's not here. Apologies. The time zone could be the issue. He's currently in the US. So I think that the time zone problem was that. Oh, yeah, thank God. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Go
on. Hello, everyone. Please, let me confirm. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, yes. Sorry about the time difference. So everyone, it's nice to connect with you today. I'm happy to be here. My name is Fola Ibiniola, and I currently work with Japa Global in Nigeria. But currently, I am not in Nigeria. I am in Canada as I speak to you. I'm running a program in Masters in Construction Project Management. So I've been running the show here in Canada, in US, and in Nigeria for now. And I'm happy to share some of my experience and one or two insight with you guys today. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, so now we have we can go straight right in. So my first question to you guys is, to anyone can answer this. It's about like, what are some of the misconceptions around employment that you want to address? Because there are some sayings that we hear that if you are doing 9 to 5, you can never be successful. You can never make it. That they say, I know. So, what do you think around all this? Like, is that true, or what kind of myth is that? Anybody could answer. Kind of mute and answer, please.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you have the floor, Mr. Follow.
Okay, then. So, the question is, you cannot really be successful or grow wealth with a 9 to 5 kind of a job. It's a myth to me. I don't think that is true. Success or wealth growth is not tied to entrepreneurship. Many of us are blessed in many ways. Some of us are meant to, to have success while we work for others. And some of us are meant to have success on something we can start up. You understand? So it's all about having being strategic with your career. Yes, you it's not about you finding something. If you can plan diligently with yourself in starting small and growing into your career, working for someone. We have a lot of people who are even paid a lot of money in order to deliver something for people. So it's, for me, I do not believe that you will have to be an entrepreneur for you to be successful. So at this point, I'm going to have to ask you individually, take it in your heart. What is success to you? What is wealth to you? It's all about having a lot of money? No, I don't think so. So you can actually be successful meeting the passion of people, meeting the need of people, and of course, making your own heart of it. It's about you strategically growing what you earn, making investments on what you earn. And of course, it's a matter of time that you see your wealth growing. So
Right.
that particular one is a myth to me.
All right. Thank you so much for that detailed answer and information. Yeah, let's go to you, Ayomide. Ayowole, sorry. Can you share some strategies around securing a good job? I mean, with your own experience in the banking industry, how was it? How were you able to navigate and get your job here?
Okay, thank you so much for that question, Ayo. So the HR profession has said a lot of things. So aside from say having a proper CV, aside from leveraging your network, aside from say having the right skill set, yeah, I would, aside from also saying optimizing your online presence, one thing that I'm going to really stress on is researching the job market, because now there are a lot of us who really want to get these jobs, but we don't know what is happening in that space. Yeah, it's appalling that someone who wants to do data analytics, say for example, has really no idea what is happening in that space here. There are very salient points. Now, I used to say to people in my circle that the your CV would only put you, would get one leg in the door. Your CV would only get you to the point of the interview. What you know is your ability to sell yourself. What you know is really what is going to give you that added advantage. There are a lot of we could have an opening in a, say, the banking sector, for example. Now my role, for example, there are a number of fraud analysts out there who are doing it very well, yeah, and a lot of us have like relatively the same CVs, the same certifications. Now, your CVs would get all of you to the interview space, but what you know, the ideas you have about the market, yeah, the ideas you have about the job that you want to do is going to give you an edge. Yeah, there are very salient trends that are going on. Say fraud, for example. Now there are techniques that fraudsters are using now, yeah, that it is not in the open space. So if you have if you take out time to research the job market, research about what it is that you want to do, it will give you
Yeah.
an added advantage. You could also,
Yeah.
one more thing that really drives home for me is staying organized and consistent. Yeah, you cannot
Okay.
say you want to get a job now and you apply one day and then you go back and you sit at
Yeah.
home and just
Yeah, thank you
relax.
so
Yeah.
much. Staying organized and consistent. Thank you so much for that point. And Toby, what oh sorry, Shego, I know this is for people that are actually employed or they're looking to employment. However, and also they want to study. Maybe they want to study, maybe do their masters or so and all. I know that you are currently studying in Sweden. How are you able to balance your work, your job, and study?
Yeah, thank you, Ayobami, for that question. Well, the first thing I would say is, which is I can consider as a central point, is build relationship.
Hmm.
I don't know the last time I stepped my foot in campus, but I have a friend. I build relationship with a category of people. We are okay. We have this study group. Whenever I'm around, I'm always with them all the time. We study together. I always reach out and contact them. So they give me updated information what is going on in school. But I can't be absent from work. But I can still navigate that with school. And another thing I can say is know the rule. It depends on which country are you studying, what course are you studying. Some courses are full time and you are only required to work 40 hours a week or so. So it depends. So in where I am, you don't have restriction on working and schooling. So another
No.
advice is if you have started your full-time work and you also want to school, it's advisable you just do a distance learning.
Hmm.
So you won't have to be on campus. So maybe while you're at work and you are free, you can still be attending to your lectures and lessons. So those are the main points. Build relationship,
All right.
then consider try and understand the rules in where you are studying, your country or the school. Then the third one is your attitude towards it.
All right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you so much for that. For that. Yeah. Let me come to Toby. I know you. We both studied engineering together in FUTA. So, and right now you are in the should I say okay, AXA Mansard, are they into insurance,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
so you're in
Yes.
the insurance industry. You're now a business process manager. Like, how did you switch? Like, give us an idea of people that are already on a career path. Let's say maybe someone that studied engineering in school or forestry or animal production and health and all. So, how is it easy to switch career path? Is it possible to come to, let's say, employment without the degree and all? And just tell us how your own personal experience on how it was easy for you.
All right. So I would say we have two examples on this call. One is the speaker, the keynote speaker, um Chima. She moved from, I think she said, in those history to HR.
History and
So
diplomatic
yeah,
study.
eh, to HR, right? So my point is, yeah, because you study the course, you're not tied to the course, right? So you can easily switch, like you can move. But how do you move? For myself, right? First thing first is you need to first analyze, right? You need to do a self-assessment. Chima talked about it when she was giving her keynote speech. You need to assess yourself. Now you said maybe you studied, like, let me take forestry for example. You studied forestry. What are those things in forestry that are transferable to what you are interested in? So let's assume you're in forestry, you want to port or you want to move to data analytics. Let me use that case scenario and explain the story, right? There are things you would do in forestry. There's there are problem solving techniques there, right? There are researches you need to do, right? And these are skill sets or project management. These are things that you can take from that forestry to a data analytics skills or to become a data analyst, right? Those are the first things you need to do. You need to analyze yourself. You need to have the assessment and check what are your strengths, what are your interests. That's what I did for myself, right? So I needed to analyze and look out. Oh, what am I interested in? While I was in school, I started doing tech, some tech skills like C sharp. Then I switched to Python. I was jumping around different languages. Then, I did it as an hobby. But when I was now out of school, it was not something I fell in love with. Then I built my skill from there. So you need to analyze the skill sets. That's number one thing. Then number two is research. Chima spoke a lot about research. You need to research at different tech areas. There's UI UX, there's data analytics. Now you're saying you want to go to tech skills, you want to learn the tech skills, but you don't like coding. You're not limited. There's UI UX, and there's UI UX design, UI UX rather. There's Scrum Master. Those are tech skills that are not coding related, right? If you also want to code, there's software developer role. And if you don't want to code, maybe you just want to do little coding, there's the low code space now, right? So you need to research on that tech skills. Then you need to now then go on to acquire all of these skills. You have some free courses. You can check out free course. I think Free Code Demia also. They do free courses. Code Academy also do free courses. There's some free courses on Coursera. You can check on these online courses. There are even some courses on LinkedIn. You can check on these courses. Then the next thing to do is to now see how you can get certification around all of this. Right? That's the next thing to do. You get certification around all of these skill sets you're interested in. Then please put yourself out there. And how do you put yourself out there? Please and please, number one, I'll tell you, go and see. First of all, if you don't have LinkedIn profile and you're on this call, please go and create a LinkedIn profile. In case you've not heard of LinkedIn before, go and browse. Right? If you're not on LinkedIn, go and join LinkedIn today. And if you're on LinkedIn and you're not utilizing LinkedIn, please go and utilize LinkedIn. I've had a lot of recruiters reach out to me on LinkedIn, and maybe because the roles were not like what I was looking out for, I then refer other people, and I have people around me that have gotten jobs that I was like, those recruiters reach out to me and I refer them. Right? So if your LinkedIn profile is well equipped enough, you will get recruiters reaching out to you. And mind you, I've got recruiters reaching out to me on LinkedIn, I've gotten on Twitter, I've gotten on Facebook. I've gotten on Telegram. Right? I'm not so active on TikTok and Instagram, so I've not gotten on those two platforms. But my point is, it is not limited to that. So when you build your profile, also build your profile to what you do. Now, you see someone that says he's a software engineer or is claiming that, oh, he's a UI UX person. When you check his Instagram video now, he's Ashake, Charlie Poppy, that food in Instagram. Please, how do you expect recruiters to reach out to you? They don't know you, right? Your profile needs to pitch who you are. That's key. So build your profile to pitch or to show who you are. And just to round up, always prepare yourself for interview. Now, a lot of people, get to they submit their CV after all certification, and then they get to interview and they're not able to, present that skill well. So present that skill well, and always make sure that you leverage whatever background you have. If you're coming from forestry, you already have idea around, environmental data and things like that. I have someone who is in the pharmaceutical line. She's a data analyst, but she's in the pharmaceutical line. She created a niche for herself. So when it comes to all this pharmaceutical data, she's able to interpret it. So she can tell you that, because a lot of demand of drug, according to data analytics or all of that, because there are a lot of demand on drugs on paracetamol, you can then deduce that there is more malaria in that area. Then what can we do to reduce malaria in that area? Or what are the other drugs we can take to that area to help supplement that? These are knowledge brought from our background. So being in forestry, you already have an edge. It does not matter the field you're coming from, you have an edge. Leverage that edge in whatever tech skills you want to learn. How about
right.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. We have about 6 minutes left for this particular section. Oh, not the section, just for me to ask my own questions before the audience starts asking their questions. But audience, if you have any question, this is the right time. You can start raising your hand, and at the right time, I will call you to speak. All right. Okay. So, Mr. Fola, please, are there skills that are termed outdated that we have out there that students don't need, or people don't need to they don't need to bother about anymore? Please, in just few minutes, can you give us some of these skills, and also if you are trying to, let's say a student is trying to, or someone is trying to target getting a job abroad, you understand, what are the strategies, what are things that they need to look out for?
Okay, so thank you for this question. When you ask, I'm beginning to wonder, is there any skill that is useless these days? Yeah, maybe, but then you need to think about it. It's all about you knowing something and how to do something, and then improving on how to do it. That's what it is today. At a point in time, we before now we used to do like for data entry personnel, we use manual entry, but these days everything has been automated. You understand? So I don't think there are particular skills that is outdated that cannot be used anymore. It's all about you improving on them. These days now we have AI performing a lot of managerial roles. We have AI and automations doing a lot of work these days. So skills, when you think, what I just want to add here is that whatever you think you know, do not stay too much on that lane. You need to improve. You need to find a way of doing things better than what you did yesterday. So that's what it's all about. So okay, now we're looking at some skills that are really isolated at a point in time. Right now, AI has replaced a lot of jobs. At a point in time on this job thing, you could have structural engineers who have to do a lot of calculation, manual calculation, having to bring in pen and book, and then to enter data themselves before they can get the bending moment or the failing moment of a particular structure. But these days, it's not like that anymore. These days, you have to even use Python to even analyze structures. If you don't know how to use Python or how to do some coding as a structural engineer, you will be left behind. Okay, so it's all about you moving ahead and mastering what you know how to do. And of course, for other questions, when you're talking about someone who really wants to study abroad,
sorry, not study abroad. It's about,
okay,
let's say, employment, getting
employment,
from
yes,
foreign companies. Yeah.
Okay, so I think you need to work on your visibility. Yeah, just like Toby mentioned earlier, you need to be visible so that these guys can reach out to you. And the number one tools that we use these days is on the LinkedIn. LinkedIn optimization is a wonderful skill for every one of us to go and do that. You need to create an online presence. This is what has turned global right now. Okay, and of course, so you need to master your networking. Let's put up the things that you can do up there. That's how you can actually get to be able to see what's happening on the other side of the world. And of course, you want to walk in there, and then you can be visible and you can be reached out. You need to have your CV has to be top notch. It's just going to be more than what you have in Nigeria. A lot of CV these days are, if you go through them, you begin to wonder, okay, what is this guy talking about? You have a lot of irrelevancies. Some people will put on their CV that they want to put in outside there, and then they'll be talking about their age, their gender, their sex. No, all these things are irrelevant right now. So you need to put a lot of optimization. Let your career goals, the things you have done, the portfolio that you have managed, let it be top notch. Let your background summary, your career experience, let it be on the first thing to be seen when you are sending out these applications. And so learn to put it out. Go online, go on to Google, go on to LinkedIn, like someone said, and you see a lot of job invitations, job descriptions. When you apply for all these ones, that's how you can be cited or you can be looked into by any of these foreign employer. And of course, you can be there. Most of these countries now, they have a lot of certification that you need to get. So you need to have them. Familiarize yourself with what is needed to work in that particular country. Get it, and of course, shoot up your application.
All right. Thank you so much for that. That's very detailed. Adepoju Adewale, please, can you quickly ask your question? Unmute your mic if you are speaking. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I want to direct my question to Mr. Toby, because at least I think I've once met him physically, and I've always been following him on LinkedIn. Yeah. Learning, like maybe for instance, let me say data analytics. Yeah, because I've been in that road for some time now. So, and I've been at least trying my best to learn. So sometimes it got to a point of like, is this what's it called? Is this career not overrated? Or is it that maybe I'm not doing what I ought to do? Or is it that maybe there's a route I need to follow that I'm not following? And sometimes when I also assess myself, I'm like, "Ah, guy, I've tried a bit. At least just be calm. Your own time will come." So I want to direct that question to Mr. Toby. Like, you are there. I will know where you are. You are paused. So, like, how can you come to, maybe how will I say, come to my head, or maybe come to my, to me, maybe to give me some kind of maybe roadmap to follow, or maybe some advice, or maybe something to just say, okay, um do this, do something like this, because at least I know, yeah, you need to build projects, you need
Yeah,
to have a
yeah.
portfolio,
All
this
right,
and
at the
that.
project. Yeah, Toby, please go on.
All right, so just to to be also be brief so that other people can answer the question. I think first off, there are sometimes a lot of people restrict themselves. So you're looking for data analytics role internship. Some people think that's the only role. Like that is, they go on LinkedIn, they search for data analytics role. Now you can see a role like business intelligence. That is a data analytics role. It's just focused on that. There's data visualization, right? There are about, I think there was a time I was in an analysis. I think I got up to like 20 something plus roles that are used in place of data analytics. Now, for where I work, it's called process engineering, right? So sometimes a lot of people go and search for roles on LinkedIn or out there, and they're limiting themselves to just data analytics, and they're like, I'm not seeing all of those roles. That's one, right? So there are a lot of roles you can check out for that are also similar to that role. Now, number two, you said you started learning, and the name is looking a bit familiar. Sure, I guess must have made apologies if I can't remember. Um, Now, how are you going around all of this? Yes, you apply. That's one way. Another way is joining community. You cannot overemphasize the importance of community. The speaker today talked about how she got her role that she, a lot of her role that she loved was through referral. I'll be sincere with you. Aside my first, I think I've, in my little years of experience, maybe like four, I think I'm a bit like 4 years in the industry now. Within that 4 years, I know I've worked across now full time and also maybe on the side, like a side also, and all of that. I think I've worked across 8 to 9 or 10 firms, and I will tell you that out of those, it's just one that I got, based on like I saw it online, then I applied and I got it. The rest of them were purely referrals, and that's the importance of community. The importance of community. When you join a community, someone can see what you do, and then when I'm opening a lot of, you can all be me witness, all of you that are working here. If a job opening opens in your organization, they will first ask you in your organization that there's an internal vacancy, or refer anybody you know. After that's how my organization does. I don't know how that organization, but I'm just saying that's how it is in most organizations. They don't ask us to refer. So the people who refer, they will interview them. It is now when they don't say anybody, they will now go outside. So a lot of times that role is already filled within that circle. So if those people that are in that organization don't know you, how would they refer you? And that's why community is important. And when you're in the community, now Chima also talked about being in some communities, and she's there as a recruiter to identify people. How do you think she identify people? It is people that are active in those communities. Now a lot of people join community and they're not active. They all join the community, they join the WhatsApp group, they join the Telegram group, they don't do anything. That's not being active. A lot of people post questions there. Jump on it, answer those questions. A lot of people are asking for help. Oh, I'm trying to do so and so analysis, or I'm doing this and this. I need help with this code. Answer those questions. That's how recruiters check out and know you. And that's how I got one of my side also, like one of my side jobs. I was just answering questions on a particular group, and that's how this guy just reached out to me, and I assisted him. And like 3 months later or 6 months down the line, he called me and he told me that, oh, there's this job opening. Oh, and in my mind, I'm telling him that, oh, I can't take it. I just got, a fully employed job. He said, no, don't worry. It's a side hustle. And the side hustle was paying me exactly the same amount my salary was paying me. Oh. So I was anytime when I was doing that. So my point is, I think I've analyzed a lot of things. Check out for other roles, not just data analysis. Put yourself out there on LinkedIn, and also be active on those communities. That's how recruiters will identify you. Then finally, please don't limit yourself to Nigeria alone. There are freelancing websites. There's Upwork. There's Fiverr. I think there's freelancer.com. I've gotten jobs there. I will not lie to you. I don't want to mention the amount, but something above maybe 5,000. But there are jobs there, right? You just need to see. You need to package yourself, package your profile. Make sure you put out what you are doing there. It's working. It has worked for me. So I believe it can also work for you. So also check out those platforms. Don't limit yourself. You can also start in dollars, leveraging those skill sets. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. That's loaded. Emmanuel, Emmanuel, please go on with your question. Unmute your mic if you are speaking. Emmanuel. Okay. I believe maybe he's not here.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you very much. Sir.
Yeah, your question
Okay.
quickly, please.
Okay, my question is thank you very much for the session. I really appreciate. But my question is we talk about lots of rules aside engineering. But what about the aspect of engineering? How do you get to navigate through it so you get to work as an engineer? Although Nigeria is not giving us the full education of the necessary engineering skills where you get to have it, but see yes, how do you get to work? Make sure you graduate and see yes work as a mechanical engineer with the right skill set, even outside Nigeria as to talk about. So how do you get to navigate your way through this aspect? Because what about like personally, I mean, I have passion for this engineering stuff very well.
All right.
So I really want to be engineer.
All right. Thank you so much. I think Mr. Fola is the right person to answer this question. All the other speakers, they've navigated, they found their way. They've Japa from engineering. All right, Mr. Fola, please go on.
Okay, so if I get the question correctly, you studying mechanical engineering, and of course you graduated already. Am I right? And of course, how you work? You intend to continue working on that line, right?
Yes, I'm still in the system. I'm still in third year student.
You're still in school. Fantastic.
Yes,
you're still in school. That's no better time to plan on how you're gonna proceed, other than now. You understand? Now, I don't know, maybe you have a year or two left. Mechanical engineering is a fantastic course, is a fantastic career. Just go on and, of course, be strong in finishing well. And, of course, it's not too early for you to network, to be in the right place. I can remember when I finished, graduated, I read civil engineering anyway, but then I have a little bit of mechanical background as well. When I finished from school in the year 2014, when I left to sign up at Federal University of Technology, Minaden, and I came home, I said, no, I don't want to stay home. The first thing I did was I attended a meeting of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And in the course of the meeting, they announced that, okay, they're looking for young engineers who have about 1 or 2 years experience. And then there's a company, so place that it needs of young ones who are just fresh. And of course, I availed myself and then applied for the job, and they called me for interview. A lot of young engineers, like 20 of us, were sent to that firm for a test. And thereafter, they took just only one person. I was the one that they took. Just like a month after coming out from school, I have other seasoned engineers there, but then I made it. So this is it. You need to be strategic, okay? And you need to be good at what you want to do. Design engineering is good for mechanical engineers, okay? You need to master a lot of software and a lot of technical capability when you're about to leave school. So what about you working in HVAC system? I don't know how good you are right now or how you intend to channel yourself energy into learning all those things, how to look into pipes fittings on site when it comes to constructions, when it comes to architecture, when it comes to engineering. All these guys, they work hand in hand on a site, on a project. Your field, your role is there. Whether you want to be a design engineer, like I said earlier, or you want to be a mechanical engineer, all of them, they are interrelated. So you need to identify where you want to master right now and begin to plan on it. Okay. In civil in engineering, there is this electrical and mechanical aspect of it that you can put together. I actually mastered that in my undergraduate, and I did a lot of work then before I even finished school. So you too can do like that. There are provisions for HVAC in a large scale building or medium-sized buildings. You need to master how to do that right now, how to use SolidWorks, how to use AutoCAD. If you can master this software, trust me, you're going to have a fun life working on the job. You're going to have something to give when the job is required. So that's what I wanted to concentrate on right now. Master all these things, master the software, master the networking aspect, and you will not find yourself lagging behind when you are eventually ready for the society in there. Okay. You
Yeah.
can also connect with me even our own host is also into it as well. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can share with you a lot of brands that you can be identified with, and then that will help you, that will guide you further on that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Also, Emmanuel, to add to that, because I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. I'm still in my field for now. So I think I will go back to what the speaker said also around you doing some research. It is not only when you search online, you might not see roles like mechanical engineering or a mechanical engineer, or let's say civil engineer. You might not see those roles in particular. What you might see requests like design engineer. You can see roles like project manager. You can see all these roles. So I think you should research more into engineering. Look at it, mechanical engineering. What are the roles you can work in, and try to now start developing skills. The easiest one, as he said, is design, learn CAD, at least foundation. You understand? If you have that particular skill, and connect, yes, and also use LinkedIn, as Toby has mentioned. Use LinkedIn. It's not every time you'll be posting about Ashake or as the case may be. So please, like, write about designs and talk about what you do. These were things I did during my undergraduate days. I've been designing for since I think 2013. It was in 2013 I got introduced to CAD, to AutoCAD. And from there, I went to Footer, then I learned SolidWorks and all that. So my residual knowledge from AutoCAD actually got my feet into the door when I wanted to go for my internship. You understand? Because they were asking, it is in building services. So that is construction. I never knew there was this aspect of mechanical engineering. There's an aspect of mechanical engineering in building services. So, and these are things that you need to look out for. So you need to do research. You need to research. All right. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, Shegun, someone also asked, like, you have a background in mechanical engineering, I think, and or in engineering generally. How can someone with a background in engineering, how can they, let's say, maybe today is not for study abroad though, but how can they look out for opportunities? Like, how can they transition into IT? Yeah, let me put it that way. How can they transition into tech, especially in terms of seeking academic pursuits abroad?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Okay, so let me start by saying this. Firstly, I will build like a three pillar to achieve this. The first is attitude. Like that is the number, which is the first thing, attitude. Then the second thing is skill. Then the third thing is education. Skill comes before your education. So, and I will differentiate that, although it says skills is part of the education. But when I'm talking about the education, I'm talking about in terms of certificates. But the first thing is your attitude. How do you want to approach it? And maybe many other things fall into that, like determination, this and this. Other speakers have spoken about how to navigate, research, do your research, what do you want to do? Like seeing Sylvia said, do an evaluation. Can you do this? What are they? So that's those ones we already know it. And let's go to the practical way. How can I now bring this all together? So the first is the attitude. Then the second is the skill. So when it comes to skill, maybe in parts of the world I am, they ask you what can you do before what you have. So yeah, so that's how I actually approach my own. So my attitude is to it is okay, I want to navigate into IT. So what is the first thing I want to do? I took a year career break. So during that career break, I was learning, go to different school, learning. Then after that, When I know I have the skills enough, I started taking certifications. So
Oh,
that is how I was able to get it. So first thing is my attitude, what I want to do, and taking a career break is part of it. Some might not have the opportunity to do that. So it's not necessary to use my own template, but your attitude in general, how can you approach it? I have so many people complain a lot. I have this issue. There's no this, there's no that. So it has been a challenge. You always find a way around it. So that is still around attitude. Then go for the skill. If you have research, I'm going to business analytics, I'm going to data engineering, cloud engineering, I want to be in, I mean, any aspect, then the next thing is to get a skill in it. You can do it, then back it up with the education, which is like the certification. So, part of the attitude is when I was about to get my job here, I'm like, one of the reasons why I was hired, the manager told me is your attitude. Because I proved to them that I can do this 10 times more than any European can. European work 5 to 9, but I work 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So who do you want to employ? And I can deliver 10 times more than they do. And I do that while working. So also this is also part of it. Yeah, thank you.
all right. Thank you so much for that. Well, some of all these questions are questions that were gotten from some of the from the audience, people that registered, and that's why I'm asking and restructuring them. So I believe that we are speaking to the audience directly. Yeah, someone is asking. This is around what's it called? Job seeking. So he said he got a job, but they are not really paying well. You understand? They're not paying him. He's thinking of whether to take the job or not to accept. I think maybe the salary, they're not really talking well around the salary thing. So can you assist in how to negotiate salaries, and also is it what's it called? As a young fresh student, is it okay not to turn down job offers that are not paying? Let's say maybe you feel they're not paying your worth.
Okay, so thank you very much, Ayabami, for that question. I would I would respond to this by sharing my experience. Yeah, the very first job I had after school was basically to cater for my transport. Yeah, it was more or less like I was interning. It was a role, yeah, but then it did not really give me the financial security that I seemed to need at that point. Yeah. Now there are times I tell people in my circle this, that there are times when you have to pay the price to learn first. Yeah. It's not really, yes, it's finances are very important, very important. Yeah. But it's not for a fresh graduate, for someone who is just getting into the job market. You might, not everybody is graced or lucky enough to get their first job that gives them very huge pay. There are times when you have to really pay the price to say, yes, I will put in the grind, I will learn, even if it's not giving me so much money take home per se. It might just cover for, say, transport and then basic expenses. Take up the responsibility to say, yes, I would invest, look at it as an investment. Yeah, then subsequently, while you are investing, while you are learning, it is always very important that on the job we are growing, because the employers see you. They see you from when you came in, they see you where you are now, they see you in the next 1 year, they see if you are, there is this evaluation that is done that you might not be aware of, that they see if you have really grown, if you've grown, if you've added, if you are adding value. Yeah, you can use that as a very key leveraging weapon to say, yes, okay, let's come to the table, let's discuss salary payment. Now, for a fresh graduate, turning down an opportunity because of the pay, it's not, personally, it's not something that I would advise, because I like to keep an open mind. I like to see it from the perspective that, yes, this is an opportunity for me to add some value to myself, put myself out there. Toby said something earlier on. Now, the jobs that I've done today, yeah, it was only my first job that I really saw that I saw online, and then I applied. Yeah, the remaining jobs that I've gotten outside that are basically referrals, and this first job that I did was what catered for just practically just transport and little basic amenities here and there. But then I applied myself properly on the job. I took out time to learn. I invested into growing on the job, and it just brought about the referrals that I have used. In fact, this current role that I'm working on is basically born out of a referral. Yeah, so it's not really advisable that you turn down an opportunity as a fresh graduate because it's not paying you so much. What you have just done is you've shortchanged yourself on so many grounds, because the relationships that you would build from that job, the access to people that you would have from that job, you might not necessarily be able to get it elsewhere. I don't know if I've answered that question, Aya.
Yeah, thank you so much. You did justice to the question. Thanks so much. Wow, this this session is very interesting, and I really wish we could continue. But lastly, Toby, so that we can round off this section, what is your take around fear of failure? How can people manage this? Because I get a lot of questions, like some people have been struggling to land their first job. They are trying, they've done so many things, like the one of the audience also asked, like he has been doing a lot of things, but he's not seeing like the results. So, like, how can they manage this? Also, in case someone is, how can one prepare for being laid off, or how should you prepare so that you won't get laid off or something? All these fears and insecurities around getting employed in a reputable company. What's your take on that? Yeah.
All right. So first thing first, I think let me address. I'll come back to fear of failure, layoff. I know a lot of us, actually, that those looking for at tech, seeing the amount of layoff. I think I was looking at the analytics, the analysis of layoff from in the year 2024. It was a whole lot of number. I think it was above worldwide. It was above 200,000. I think layoff of tech professionals. Right. So it can be a bit scary. But let me talk about the first job, right? Now, first off, one thing I want to let you know is if you're doing everything right, you're taking out the boxes, right? And you know that you're taking out the boxes. That is, you are learning, you're putting yourself out there and all of that. Please, I'll tell you to keep doing that, right? Keep doing that. It's going to pay off. Just keep doing that. Now, I talked about, let me just give myself an example from my own self. Now, when I decided to take my Upwork account very seriously, that I want to start, getting some maybe little dollars by the side. I know I did that profile. I think it was around 2022, maybe October, September, or ish. I can't really remember. I did my profile, put everything. I met a lot of people that were already working and told me what to do. I did my profile. It was very well, nice and okay. Started pushing out proposal on Upwork. I did not get my first gig until June 20. I think it was roughly 6 months after. Let me just put it like that.
Wow.
6 months after, that was when I first got my first gig. I was ticking up, I knew that I was ticking out the boxes. I knew I did everything right. I knew I was doing everything. Much more than they're telling me to do. I had to get another certification exam and put out there. But I did not get my first gig until 6 months after. So there is a place of delayed gratification. God forgive me, let me not blow my grammar. But yeah, exactly, that's the word. So there are times you're doing things well, right? And it's not a quick thing. So now I know, let me just give 2 examples also. There's somebody I know, he started learning tech, like started learning UI, UX. He started learning. Just 3 months while he was learning, he just saw this opportunity. He started putting like some things on Twitter. And guess what? He got this job in I think the guy was in Australia. And the guy was a student too. He just started learning. Then just 3 months into his learning, he got this job in Australia and they're paying him in dollars. Like the amount they're paying him was a whole lot. I was like, wow, this guy I'll see mentoring the other time, right? Now there are a lot of people that are also learning this UI UX. Now, if that guy goes on Twitter and say, if your company is paying you less than so dollars, say you don't want that kind of thing because it worked for him. Now look at it across board. He's one person I know, right? A lot of people have been learning that thing for 6 months. I know some couple of people, maybe 8 months or so before they got their first job. Right. So you cannot equate like that for everybody. So what I'm just trying to tell you that if you're ticking all the boxes, you know you're doing the right thing. And I'm sure you'd have gotten a few extra action points you can do, right, or you can take from this meeting or from all of the things you said in this webinar, right? Go back and do them. But if you know you're ticking all the boxes, keep doing them. The right one will come very soon. And please connect with people a lot. So like connect with people, join more communities, make sure you join communities, more communities. You would always yeah, you would always, it's always, at the end of the day, something good always come out of it. So my point is, there's always a place of delayed gravity. God have mercy. Yeah, of delayed gratification. So forgive me. Yeah, all right.
All right.
Fear of, sorry, just want to address fear of failure, being laid off, and challenge of starting over. See, yes, there's a myth of no job is secured, but at the other end of it, yes, you get some jobs that you can say at least 80% secured, right? But nothing is 100% secured. If a job or a work doesn't make profit, I will tell you the truth. If the employer is not making profit again, it's going to lay off people. That's the only solution, right? I sit in the middle management and I know what it's like when the business is not making money and your stakeholders are on your neck telling you that, see, if you don't make so profit by so time, would maybe want to go out or step out, and that means they have to find a way to reduce costs and increase the profit margin, right? For those who understand that. But where I'm going to is, see, my point is always take failure as a learning opportunity. A quick story. When I started my career, then I was just like a month and 2 weeks, 6 weeks into my career, and I was still an intern, and I was working on this job. They put me on a real life project. Then 2 weeks into the project, that's 8 weeks into the job, the 2 guys that were on that project resigned. We were only 3 on the project. The 2 other experienced guys resigned. I was the only one. I was an intern. And then, like I said, I'm still an intern, but I push my weights. Then they took this project, we went to go and present to clients. And I was the best person that had the understanding of the project at the time. Now I presented this to the client, and guess what? The vice president stood up and told me to my face that I lack understanding of what I was doing. To my face, I lack understanding of the project I was doing. Like, my friends will tell you today, that thing changed my life. I went back home, I sat on my laptop, and like, this thing must work. I must finish this thing, I must do this thing. And funny enough, luckily for me, that first meeting was a small meeting, just the few management. The second meeting was now the bigger one, where we had all of the president himself was there at that organization, and all that marketing guys and everybody. And when I went the second time, right, they stood up to give me a standing ovation. And that's the difference. I took that failure as a learning gap, instead of giving an excuse that I'm still new on the job, I'm still learning, these people, they're no, I can't learn there, I can't work there, that environment is toxic. I took it as a learning opportunity to build myself, and when I went back, it was a different story entirely. So always take failure as a stepping stone to learn. So whether you're being laid off or you're or anything at all, make sure you're building yourself. And the good thing with building yourself is, if you're building yourself and you know you're building yourself, see, my brother, as long as you build yourself, you cannot be out of job for a very long time. Meaning, if you're out of this job, as long as you know you built yourself, when you put yourself out there, there's this confidence, you would know that, no, somebody else will take me. Maybe they might not give you the pay you're looking out for, but somebody else will take you within a few months. If you are building yourself and you've gathered that experience, just make sure you keep building yourself. Make sure you have that mindset of continuous learning. Always have that mindset of continuous learning, building yourself, and have a vision, right? Always know when to move also. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think Ayomide wants to round off on that. Okay, please go on, Ayomide. Ayowale, sorry.
Okay, so thank you, Ayo. Quickly, yeah. This is my story. Yeah, this year, if anyone tells you that it's going to be very smooth, that person is deceiving you actually, because you would hit the bumps pretty bad sometimes. This year, I worked with a financial institution from 2021 to this year, and this year the whole bank was liquidated. I mean, everybody was sent home. It wasn't a funny situation. Everybody was sent home, and it just looked like, what's going on? Where are we starting from? What's going to happen? Sincerely, it's not going to be smooth all the time. It's not going to be easy all the time. There are days when you would You would cry. There are days when you would feel bad. There are days when you would be like, ah, am I doing it right? There are days when you would have to start all over again. But just like Toby said, if you acquire the right skills here, even if you fall, there is this assurance that you would always get back up. In less than 2 months after the bank was liquidated, I had a number of offers that I even had to turn down some, yeah, to accept this one that I'm currently doing. So it's not going to be a bed of roses. Life is going to come at you really hard at times, but that grit has to be there. That resilience has to be there. That tenacity has to be there. Brace up, brace up, brace up. You've got this. You would, if you fall, you will rise. You're not going to remain on the floor. Thank you very much. I just thought to share that.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Joshua, we are out of time, honestly. Like, we are 5 minutes late now. Okay, Joshua, quickly, in 1 minute, your question. If you are speaking, Joshua, unmute your mic. Okay, I think Joshua is not there. Made a mistake. Okay, yeah. So now let me just do. Thank you so much to the panelists and everyone that joined the call. Yeah, I have to say my own key takeaways for today is first is to skill up. Like if you want to choose the employment route, you need to skill up. You need to develop yourself, and even if you think that you are not getting the right things that you are supposed to get, keep learning, and one day alarm will blow. That's just the inspiration. One day it will just blow, because as I said, I started designing. I learned AutoCAD in 2013. That was during my at the Polytechnic, and when I got to FUTA in 200 level, I was also learning things here and there. I was just picking up skills here and there. I never knew when I will need them, but I was picking them. That was when I learned Microsoft Word, and I was very good at the Polytechnic, and also Excel. And I went into FUTA, then 200 level, we did Python and the likes. I picked up Python also. I was learning. I joined a community. You mentioned community, Toby. What Google Student Network or Association? I can't remember. GSA then, those years, and we learned about Java. I was learning all these things, but I was just like, how will coding, how will it help my mechanical engineering life? So I was just doing all these things, and then SolidWorks came on board, and I was just like, oh, I think this is my way. So I was just jumping from point A to B, because coding was, I don't know, it was way over my head. Then I was like, this thing is difficult. I cannot be cramming every now and then. So I went for CAD, and CAD was very interesting, because as I'm developing, I'm seeing what I'm developing. It was so sweet. So what I'm saying in essence is, while you are skilling up, don't think an idea is what's it called, a skill is outdated or going to a waste. So I can say throughout my stay at the university, I don't think I opened AutoCAD once. But AutoCAD gave me the opportunity for internship to intern in a company then, building services. And I was just asked by my sister, that's what would take me also to networking. Do you know AutoCAD? I said, yes, of course I do. And that was it. And she was just like, okay, don't worry, I'll talk to someone in 2 or 3 days. And also networking, let people know what you do. People around you, your friends, your cousin, your family members, let them know you. Let them know what you do exactly. I made that mistake also for my internship. I was looking for a job, for a place to intern at, and I never knew that my sister or my cousin, I never knew that she works in an engineering firm. But just because she's an accountant, so I felt that an accounting person cannot help me as an engineer. So I never knew that she was working there. And The day I suffered though. I trekked in Lagos, like looking for job. Like I did get door-to-door company search. I did it with a friend of mine then in Lagos. So I went to Agbara, all those companies I tried. Yes, I did those things, and I never knew that my cousin was actually working in an engineering firm. The day I told her about it, she was just like, since all this while, I did not even tell me. And my company has been looking for mechanical engineers, interns. And I was just, but do you know AutoCAD? Of course, I know AutoCAD. I used AutoCAD, and that was it. And I got the job, and that was the stand. That was the first thing. So network, let people know what you do. Let people know what you do. Sometimes your friends try to check up and ask them, "What are you doing?" I do that randomly for most of my friends. I do that randomly, and I ask them, "What are you doing at this point? This is what I am doing currently. What about you?" So that in case you see an opportunity, or the person also see an opportunity, they can refer you. CV writing and LinkedIn optimization, we've mentioned it a lot here. It is also about networking and putting yourself out there. This is not the time to actually only focus on one particular thing. Yeah, if you are in an industry, you can jump on trends, you can follow through whatever works for you, do. But just make sure that you are aiming and gunning, you have a goal, and you are on the road, you are on the right path. You understand? And lastly, as the speaker said, evaluate yourself. And someone was asking, how can he or she evaluate him or herself? The best way is what I tell people is, you said you are looking for a job, you want to be employed. How many job offers have you applied to? How many vacancies? Let's even start from the basis. How many vacancies have you even applied for? But you've not applied to so many. You applied to one or two, and you said you are still looking for a job. No, it doesn't work that way. So evaluating yours, and also it has a downside, also a flip side rather. If you are applying to jobs, it's not like you are now getting turned down and you feel like you're not letting that affect you or depress you. It is not, that kind of evaluation is not constructive, that's destructive. So you need to evaluate yourself constructively, in the sense of you keep applying and just know, okay, I want to apply for 10 job offers, and you do that. Then reevaluate, why are they not calling me back? Sylvia mentioned this, like you write so many things and no one reached out to you. You didn't not even make it to interview. So the next thing is reevaluate your CV, rearrange, and go forth. Yeah, with this, I believe we have come to the end of today's session, and I believe this is very, very impactful to the audience. If you really learned quite a lot today, please just use the emotions. Let's see the the emojis, and let's see. I believe everyone has learned quite a lot today, and thank you so much to the speakers and panelists. I know it is not easy out of your busy schedule, and getting the right time was it was a whole lot. People all over the world and all. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this, and for you giving back to the society. Thank you so much. So tomorrow we will continue with the people that are looking to study abroad, or Japa, as the case may be, as they say. So we have lined up of speakers also for tomorrow. So join us at 3 p.m. and we would continue on this particular journey of seeing what particular route is best and how you can navigate. Thank you so much, everyone, and do have a lovely weekend ahead.